My name is Nick Rice with Rice Law. For over 70 years and 3 generations, my family has litigated divorces here in Memphis, Tennessee, and this video is a resource to help you find the right divorce lawyer. When you begin looking for a divorce attorney, the first thing you need to figure out is, do you want a divorce or not? Some people are just looking for information if a divorce were to happen. Other people actually know a divorce is coming. They're either going to file, maybe they've already been served with papers, and they know they're actually going to be getting a divorce. You need to figure out which one you are before you meet with a lawyer. Going to a divorce lawyer and asking, do I need a divorce, is like going to a car lot and asking, do I need a new car? You don't want to be sold something you don't ultimately want. I tell people, talk to friends, talk to family, your therapist, your pastor, whoever you need to figure out if you actually want a divorce or not. Step number one, figuring out if you want the divorce so that you're not sold a divorce you don't ultimately want. Next, you're going to need to do research. First things first, do you know any friends or family that have been through a divorce? Can you talk to them? Can you ask them what they thought about their lawyer? Look for people that recommend their ex-spouse's lawyer. That's one of the greatest compliments as a divorce lawyer you can get, which is when the other side of a divorce has to acknowledge that you did such a good job that they're going to actually recommend their ex-spouse's attorney. After that, you need to use the friend that we all have. It's Google. So ask Google. In that, looking for the best divorce attorneys in your area, things like that, you're going to go to their website. You're going to read customer reviews. Do the websites offer information to you so that small questions, you can already get the information that you're looking for? Or are they trying to force you in to actually come in for a consult to get paid for that information? The more willing the lawyer is to help and guide someone through their website, their informational videos, things like that, the better the customer reviews are, the more likely that's a good attorney that's going to watch out for you throughout your entire case. Once you have one or two attorneys that you're actually considering hiring, you're going to need to call to set up a consult. In that consult, you'll call the attorney's office. Most likely, you're going to talk to someone on staff. They'll need to run what's called a conflict check before you actually speak to the attorney. Conflict check, real simply, we're going to collect basic information to run through our conflict system to make sure that the attorney that you want to speak to hasn't spoken to the opposing party, hasn't represented any competing interests before you actually meet with the attorney. The reason for the conflict check is to make sure that we're not violating any ethical concerns. We're prohibited from representing or discussing any matters with an adverse interest. So we want to make sure that there is no conflict before we actually talk to you. When you're going into a consultation, you need to bring financial information, income, assets, debts. So you're looking for your latest tax returns, maybe the last couple of years of tax returns, current statements, bank accounts, mortgages, things like that that are going to show whatever debts you've got, credit cards. You basically want to come in with income, assets, and debts. You're also going to want to bring potential evidence with you. That could be pictures of things that you think are relevant. Text between you and your spouse. Basically, any information you think could be relevant to your case. Go ahead and bring it and provide it to the attorney. Now, the most important thing in the consultation is for you to come ready to be open and honest with that attorney. You need to keep in mind that the consult is confidential. That lawyer isn't free to go around talking about anything that happened in the consult. And that's whether you hire the attorney or not. So that's going to be confidential. Be open, be truthful. If you don't have all the documentation that we talked about, that's fine. The attorney should know the questions to ask you to develop what's going on in your case, what are the relevant facts, and then based on that, advise you how the appropriate law would affect your case. My consults always begin the same way. I explain the confidentiality. I want them to know that I'm not free to speak about this, so they need to give me as much truthful information as they can. More truthful, open, and honest they are, the better the advice I can give them on the legal situation that they find themselves. I also make sure that a client knows that they need to be getting a bead on me throughout this process. Do they feel like I'm competent? Do I know what I'm talking about? All the way down to, do they like and respect me or not? I also make it real clear that at the end of this, if you don't like me, you don't feel like you respect me, you won't hurt my feelings. But if you can tell me what you do not like about my approach, I will help you find a lawyer that you will like. From the consult, the first time a client steps in my office, I am tasked with their best interest. If I am not the person that can actually represent and take care of their best interest for whatever reason, I want to take that next step in protecting their best interest, which is finding the appropriate attorney for them. During the consult, you and the attorney are both interviewing each other. You need to see if that attorney is right for you. That attorney needs to be identifying the specific issues in your case and making sure that they've got the actual resources and ability to address your specific issues. During the consult, that attorney needs to be listening to and engaging with you so they can figure out what your values, what your goals are, and they can tailor their representation to those values and goals. A lot of divorces have similar issues. Every divorce is going to deal with grounds, parenting time, child support, property division, and alimony. Most lawyers can handle the run-of-the-mill things that are going to come up that are common in all divorces. State forms to be filed, simple issues, and things like that. What you're looking for is the lawyer that can suss out what makes your case unique and individual, and then can develop a plan with you to actually address those unique and individual aspects of your litigation to get you the maximum results on what ultimately matters most to you. During the consult, you need to watch out for a sales pitch versus being provided information. If you're getting a sales pitch, that lawyer is most likely over-promising you. Okay, they're telling you anything you want can be accomplished. Now, it's natural for a lawyer to want to please their prospective client. Okay, they want to win for their client. Every lawyer wants to win their case. But you need to watch out for that over-promising. It's natural for the lawyer to want to please their client, but they need to be giving advice to you in the consult that is tempered with reality. And the reality are the actual facts of your case that we can prove and how the law applies. So once you've identified a goal with your potential attorney, they need to explain to you both ways that it could fall down. Either a yes, that goal can be accomplished and here is why, based on the laws that it applies to the facts of your case. And then they also need to be able to tell you, I don't think we're going to be able to accomplish that goal. Here is why, based on the legal analysis of the facts that you've given me. Although conversations are hard to have when you're explaining to a client, I don't think that we can accomplish your goal. Having those conversations and explaining the law leads to new, different, and creative ways to accomplish that litigation goal. One thing I enjoy very much about my job is problem solving. When we're being presented with a problem and the initial outlook is that I cannot get this accomplished, I do enjoy, and most lawyers that are worth their salt do enjoy actually finding ways around to get your goal met. Another thing to look out for is an attorney that's going to play on your emotions. Divorce is naturally an emotional topic. It's easy for a lawyer to get their clients angry, fearful, upset, okay? All of those emotional decisions, when made, they're most likely irrational decisions. And the problem about irrational decisions is they don't actually move you through your case. They create additional costs while not actually progressing your matter. You want an attorney that's going to understand that this is an emotional issue, but is then going to work you back into making rational decisions to resolve our problem, okay? That attorney understands, yes, you are emotional and you should be emotional, but we need to make rational decisions so that we can progress our problem. When we're making rational decisions, we actually get movement in the litigation. We actually also conserve fees because with the movement and actually progressing the case, we're spending less and making more progress. You need to be very conscious of the progress that your case is making with that attorney and the plan that's being executed, because in a divorce, both sides of that litigation are paying their fees out of the same pot, being the marital estate. The more money that leaves on any unnecessary attorney's fees is going to be less for the two spouses to divide up at the ultimate end of this divorce. Also in the consult, watch out for lawyers that speak poorly of other lawyers. If it's a good lawyer, they don't need to degrade other attorneys to try and get your case. If you leave your consult feeling more educated about your potential litigation, if you've got more information on the pros and cons, if you feel like you've connected with that attorney and that attorney feels empathy for your situation, you've most likely had a good consult. Another thing to look out for is the staff or the employees happy? The number one indicator of happy employees is how well they're treated by their boss. If the attorney treats their employees well and with respect, then that attorney is going to treat you well and with respect while they handle your matter. I hope this video was helpful. If you find yourself in the unfortunate situation of needing a divorce, I hope that this helps you find the correct attorney. For more information about divorce in Tennessee, please visit aboutdivorce.com.